one of those big envelopes with the bubbles.
Going live. Hey, so we are currently live. You happen to be watching us on YouTube. If you're live, or maybe you're catching this after the fact and you're just streaming it, this is Stormfront Freaks Raw. We are in episode 94. We got Amy Sweezey coming on here shortly.
Amy.
But Raw, because this is the recording. You're catching everything before, after, and in between the show. We will eventually actually edit this for the audio podcast and upload that usually the following Sunday. Wow, you're making a lot of noise, Jen.
What the heck? Like a sandbox over there.
Down.
He's going through her mail.
Tinker Toys? What is it? Legos?
I know, I didn't get it. I thought I got the activity
book.
It's like
taking plastic wrap and just right by the microphone.
Or when somebody has a mint in that wrapper, and you're trying to be really quiet, and you're like,
oh, right.
Just open it.
Or at a movie.
The
right
movies.
At the movie, and you're pulling your candy apart.
And the popcorn.
Oh,
yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Wow, what is this?
Happens to me all the time. So this is the Read the Jen Watson Mail Hour.
It is. All right, guys. So I don't know.
Who's saying hi?
So they're mini. So these are timers. So I have a big 2-hour live show tomorrow, and I needed timers for it. So I have timers.
Oh, not for your like Christmas tree or something like that to plug it in and have a timer. Not like that.
No, but that's I like that idea.
My thank you.
Because it'll just shut you off when you're supposed to be done. You don't have to worry about it. It'll just turn your computer right off.
I know. Oh my God, we need to do like a holiday hack show. I feel like that needs to happen.
Holiday.
Wasn't that like a Black Friday thing?
Yeah, it is. It is actually. Well, it is. But then talking more about the holidays. Oh, look at they're kind of cute.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like a egg timer kind of a deal?
Yeah. So basically, it's a each guest has 10 minutes. So this is the timer I'm using.
Oh.
For them.
And and you say, oh, your 10 minutes are up. Get the hell off.
Kind of, yeah.
Get out.
Well, we use StreamYard too, and other people are waiting in the green room.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
We call that mini producer. 2 minutes, 10 seconds, rap.
So Jen, were you the one that chose StreamYard?
So
or who chose that?
We were using Ecamm. And so I do have a show producer, but StreamYard is better just because of the lower third and using everything too. So
you cut out a little bit. You're freezing up there, Jen.
It's good.
Did you hear me?
No.
Bandwidth is low for Jen.
I'm freezing up here, Jen.
Yeah, we were losing you a little bit.
Okay. I think I'm good now. I'm just not going to move. But now we use StreamYard. I would say StreamYard is the best, honestly, for live video. It's just awesome.
They added a new feature now of a scrolling ticker on the bottom. We don't have that on this one because I created it prior to them releasing that feature. But for the next one, we'll have a little ticker that can scroll.
I see Chris Tyne is on. It says it's almost midnight here. Chris, where the heck are you?
In Germany.
Yeah, really?
She's in Germany. She's
really?
the Germany one, yes.
Oh, nice. Hi, Chris.
So realize it's normally like 3 a.m.
Oh my God!
When she's on.
Wow, then our 9 p.m. Eastern one's got to be tough.
Yeah.
Well, there's Parker. There's Shane. Hey guys, you guys are so wonderful. Christine, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
It's
You
Christine.
guys made the 6 o'clock time.
Chris Tyne. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
Chris.
It's clever how she does it like that, though. I like it.
Christine, sorry.
Christine, where in Germany are you?
Where in Germany? She's in Germany.
Yeah. So I think there actually is the town of Ost, A-S-T. Christine, let me know if that's a real thing, because my last name is Ost. I'm German.
Check. Test 1, 2.
You are?
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah. I'm like near Frankfurt.
Oh, Frankfurt. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Christine,
Right,
do you know?
MJ, how's my sound? Any better? Too loud?
Hi, Amy.
And there's Amy.
Amy's on.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Whatever's typed up at the very top that says number 94 guest Amy Sweezey, My name is spelled wrong. FYI.
Oh, there's an extra E after the Z.
MJ
Yeah.
can't hear you because you're muted.
3
Yeah,
E's.
sorry. It's only that way on this. We corrected it on everything else. Somebody
Beautiful.
fed me the wrong information. I'll just say that.
We corrected it on your credit card. So it should be fine.
That's all that matters.
On that application, yeah, we got it right on that one.
Amy,
Amy,
thank
how
you
are
for all the
you?
books.
Hi guys, you're welcome. Thank you for posting about them.
Yeah,
Yes, and
But
putting
I
it out on
felt bad
social
because
media.
I posted about the first one, and then I've been sick and on and off, and I kept getting sidetracked about the other ones. But I'm going to take a picture of all 3 and do it again.
Yay, that'd be great. So you got the activity book, I see.
Yes,
I only
did.
sent those
It's
last
really
second.
cute too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't get that one yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot.
That's all right. We'll talk
But
about
that's
it.
okay. That
Okay.
looks awesome.
Yeah.
Amy, I'm trying to get Zara to sit still so I can take photos of her with the books.
That'd be
Because I
great.
wanted to add a little extra something, but it's been a struggle. So as soon as I get that to happen, I'm so doing that. I'm going to do
Got it.
Instagram stories and all that.
That'd be great. That's her age.
Yes.
Good.
Oh my God. She's such a little nugget. You need to see her again.
I know. I think September was the last time I saw her.
Yeah, she's talking more and more, and she's just like, oh my God. It's amazing how much they absorb.
How do you
in
guys
those
know each other?
What'd you say?
Weather conferences, right?
Oh, okay.
Maz, you should maybe check them out.
Probably. I worked in Amy was my competition.
Oh, really?
Michigan.
Kalamazoo,
I was in
Oh.
Grand Rapids. at
Grand
13.
Rapids.
Yep. I
What
remember you
years were you there?
there. 96 to 99 or 95 to 99, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was there. Well, I left I was there 95 to 2002.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's so awesome.
She was good. I kept losing viewers. I kept going to her. Like, stop it, Amy.
Right.
All right. Well, let's quick go through some housekeeping items. Everyone's camera, I think, is on high def. If you go,
Is
Amy,
mine.
is yours on high def? If you go to
I
your
don't know.
settings down at the bottom, go
Oh,
to your
okay.
cam
Hold on.
mic,
Hold on. Cam mic. Yep.
and then choose camera as the settings option.
Can make my lighting better.
HP Wide Vision HD.
Okay, and then what's your camera resolution?
Standard definition. Let me change
Can
it
you
to
change
high.
that to high?
Yep. Will it make me look prettier?
Yeah, it should. It
I know
always
that's
does.
what like
That's
maybe I'll brush
not
my
possible.
hair.
If it makes me look worse, I'm going back to standard.
Jen, do you have earbuds in?
No, I never have put earbuds in.
What?
Do you have them? Because sometimes when you don't have them and you try and jump in and say something, the first part of what you say might get cut off as it's trying to correct and switch so you don't get feedback.
Okay, let me go into settings quick and see if I can switch this.
Okay, while you're doing that, mute your phones. If you need to mute your mic, you can do that down at the bottom of your screen as well. There's a mute mic option. There's also a stop camera. You can mute your camera if you need to. Everyone looks good where they're at. If you get knocked off for any reason, just reconnect with that same link that you have. So we'll do our normal opening. This is brought to you by Drive Weather app, so I'll mention that. We'll introduce the team with our happy hour as normal. And then, Maz, I'll turn it over to you for Amy's introduction.
Yes.
And we'll get into the questions. And then right around, say, 20 or 25 after, we'll take a break. And then come back from there. More questions. Anybody have any questions? Amy, you good? You ready?
I'm good. I'm ready.
Awesome.
Woo. Hang on, I forgot to pull mine up.
Pull your what up?
I got to pull
Clapper?
the PDF. Yes.
You have it on the clapper. That's Maz's Christmas gift this year that I sent him.
Better than a timer. Now, here we go. Come on.
I did see, and I can't remember what it was, but I did read somewhere that Clapper made an upgrade of some sort.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was now. It's like vocal, like you could say turn off or something, and it.
Oh, really?
It'll do that too. All right, we ready? All right.
Yes.
Coming in 3, 2. Hey, welcome everybody to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks podcast. It's brought to you by the Drive Weather app. You can find the safest time to leave as you travel this holiday season by viewing the weather along your trip with the Drive Weather app, available on iOS and Android. You can learn more at driveweather.com. Don't forget to check out our website, guys. Go to stormfrontfreaks.com, because that's where you can also check out the entire back library of shows with famous guests, Michael Binsky, storm chaser and photographer. We've also had the American Ninja Warrior meteorologist Joe Moravsky was with us as well, just to name a few. But tonight, this is episode 94, and we are with meteorologist at WESH-TV in Orlando and children's author Amy Sweezey is with us tonight.
Yay, Amy.
So it's good to have Amy on. We're also going to have a good old lightning round with her and the freaks, and then we'll finish up with our infamous hashtag Weather Fools and our WX resources. I also want to encourage you guys, right now we've got the 4 weeks of Christmas going on only on our Twitter account. So if you're only following us on Facebook or Instagram, you're not going to see it on there. It's only on our Twitter account at Stormfront Freak. No S at the end. But if you go to our feed, you're going to see we're giving away 15 weather gifts over these 4 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I think we're up to number 10 right now. So we've got a bunch of gifts that right now are available, and we're going to be posting a bunch more here in the next week or so. So make sure you go check that out. Win yourself a great weather gift for the holidays, or just check out some of these amazing weather gifts that if you don't win, you might want to throw on your Christmas list, or possibly get a friend or family member yourself. When we record, you guys all know it's happy hour, right? Every time we record,
right.
We're actually recording a little bit earlier tonight, but it's still happy hour, and it's the best way for us to introduce the co-hosts that are with us tonight, so you can put a voice to the name. We'll find out who's here, but it also lets you know we like to have a lot of fun when we do this. So, MJ, I'm going to start with you up in Minnesota. What are you drinking?
All right, back to an old standard. We got Michelob Amberbach tonight.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Very good, very good. Maz, what do you got, sir?
So I got a little cold, a little sore throat, so I figured I need some bourbon. Everything, right? So I've got Maker's Mark and Coke in my Nebraska Cornhuskers cup.
Whoa.
There
Cheers.
you go.
Next year is going to be better for us.
There you go.
I love it.
I always got next year. Dina, what are you drinking?
I'm like Maz. I've been kind of sick lately, so I'm just drinking my tea. I'm not going to be mixing cold medicine and alcohol tonight. I'd like to get up
I heard
tomorrow.
they go well together. I do.
They do, but I do need to get up. So
Very good, very good. Jen, what are you drinking tonight, Jen?
All right, so I'm starting to feel a little bit under the weather. So I've actually got emergency, that like airborne stuff with vitamins.
With bourbon?
Okay.
Not with bourbon,
Oh, okay.
just by itself.
It
I
is
know.
definitely going around. So I want to do this so we know who's here, but I want to get to the main person who we get to talk to tonight, Amy. So Maz, why don't you do a good little introduction for us?
All right. Thank you very much. Amy Sweezey is here. She's an award-winning broadcast meteorologist and children's book author. With more than 20 years of experience in television, Amy joined the WESH-2, that's WESH-2 news team in Central Florida back in August of 2002. Talk about longevity, by the way. After working at the CBS affiliate in Kalamazoo, which is where I knew her from when I was in Grand Rapids, but she was like 15 years old working there at the time. Everyone she looks a lot younger than you. Anyway, Amy's children's book, Let's Talk Weather, TV Forecasting Behind the Scenes, was awarded a gold medal in the FAPA President's Book Awards in 2018. Good job on that. And her first book, It Never Ever Snows in Florida, received a 2018 Preferred Choice Award in the From Creative Child magazine. So that's very exciting. Welcome, Amy. Glad you're here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Hey.
for having me. I'm so excited that you
you, Amy.
invited me to be part of the podcast.
You survived Kalamazoo.
I did, and the lake effect snow. I feel like a true Floridian now. I've actually been here 17 years, so I kind of feel like Florida's home instead of Michigan, which is very odd since I lived almost my whole life in Michigan.
Now, do you still have some family up there?
Yes, in fact, my husband was born in Kalamazoo, and I met him there. So all of his, well, many of his siblings, not all of them, but many of his siblings, his mom and dad are both there. So we do go back to visit once in a while, but I try really hard to only go in the summer. And
I was wondering if it was like your blood started to freeze when you went up there after being in Florida so long.
It is difficult. I tell you, here in Florida, just like last week, it was in the 50s for highs, and I was bundled up, layered up. It was amazing how things change once you're in Florida for a while.
That's so sad. 50s.
50s in Florida, they wear parkas. 50s in Michigan, they're wearing shorts.
They're at the beach.
Yep.
So when did you start thinking about writing books? I mean, you probably didn't just be like, hey, I'm going to write a book. Or had you been thinking about it for years? Or how did that all start?
Well, probably like all of you, I feel like those of us who are in TV weather, we talk to a lot of kids at schools. And so my whole career, I've been visiting schools, talking to kids who've been studying about the weather. And every time they would have so many questions that I didn't have time to answer. And of course, when I first started in this business, there was no such thing as email. So they couldn't just pop me an email or send me a note on Twitter or on Instagram and ask their question. So I always felt like I want to give them more, but I wasn't really sure how to do that. And I always thought in the back of my brain, someday I'm going to write a book. So finally, that someday happened a few years ago, and I finally basically put my school visit into a book, and that's how the Let's Talk Weather came about. All the things that are in here are the things that I talk about when I'm at my school visit. So how I do my job, how I figure out if it's going to be hot or cold, sunny or cloudy, wet or dry, cold fronts, warm fronts, satellites, radars, talk about the tools and the tornadoes and the hurricanes and all those things that kids always ask, like, which one's stronger, a hurricane or a tornado?
Amy, you have 3 books here that you sent us, and I do love them. Do you have plans on doing any more books?
I would love to, yes. In fact, my 3rd one that just came out like a week ago is an activity book. This one's kind of a companion book to Let's Talk Weather. And so it's kind of a coloring book, puzzles, games, and it emphasizes some of the things that are in my Let's Talk Weather book. This one is geared toward kindergarten through 2nd grade, and I'm working on the 3rd through 5th grade book right now.
Oh, so okay.
So that one will be out. Yes, I hope right after the holidays that one will be out. And then beyond that, my next goal is a chapter book, which is going to be a little bit bigger of an undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Amy, I love this. How do you find the time to write?
Good question. So I work mornings, which means I wake up at 2 a.m. And I have 3 children, and they are in 10th grade, 8th grade, and 6th grade. So life is busy, but I enjoy it. I don't really sit down very often. And when I do sit down, I'm doing like 4 different things, including writing, talking in my phone, writing my next book.
So, Amy, your first book, did your son inspire this? What inspired the book about like not seeing snow in Florida?
Yes. So I actually, we have a really cool school here in Central Florida where I homeschool my kids part-time. So they go to school half the time, and then they homeschool 2 days a week, and then they go to school 3 days a week. So it's kind of a cool best and worst of both worlds. But through that experience, when my kids were little and we were studying the seasons, we would get to winter and we would learn about blizzards and snowstorms and freezing rain and all these things that my kids were like, huh? They had no clue what my life was like in West Michigan. So being all born in Florida. So yes, the inspiration for this book was just the fact that, we were studying winter with kids who were born in Florida, and they didn't quite get it like the rest of the country did. So I needed a book just for Florida kids. So that was kind of the inspiration for this one.
So which of your kids are going to go into weather?
None of them. They're all really good at science and math. So I'm like, you're going to be a doctor or an engineer.
And then you're going to buy a nice house on the beach and have mom live next door.
Exactly. You're going to take care of me in my old age.
Yep.
That sounds wonderful. So, Amy, I have to know, since you've been in Florida since 2002, how much snow have you seen?
So I have actually seen snow. Okay, let me rephrase. I have seen snow on a TV camera in Central Florida while I've been here, and you had to look very carefully, in a light that you could barely see a little snowflake. Another time we had snow, actually a couple years ago, and it wasn't truly snow, but I knew that, and anybody who was from up north knew that it was really grapple, fancy weather word, like little frozen ice pellets. But, people who lived in Florida insisted it was snow, and because they could pile it up into a teeny tiny little snowball, they called it snow. And we called it a day. But yes, only about every 10 years does it actually snow in Florida. And yes, people do give me a hard time when they see the cover and the title of my book. And the first thing they say is, oh, yes, it does snow in Florida. It snowed in 1977. Oh, yes, it snowed in 1989. So I try to tell them, yes, I know. Just read the book and you'll read all about it. You'll find out it does actually snow in Florida.
Do you say to them, yes, I know it, and you're really old to know that?
I should. No, because I'm just as old, so I can't say anything anymore.
So, Amy, other than the obvious reason, so why did you move from the Midwest to Florida?
Other than I was tired of digging out my car from the snow?
Maybe.
Yeah. That was truly it, because my husband was from there. We figured we'd stay in West Michigan forever. It was kind of home. I grew up on the east side of Michigan, just south of Ann Arbor. So Midwest was home, went to school in Chicago. But I just always really loved the warm weather and the sunshine. So when it was time to start looking for jobs, I thought, you know what, I'm going to look someplace warm and sunny and see what happens. And Orlando was what happened.
So once you got to Florida, what did you find was the area in forecasting that you're like, oop, I need a little more practice at that?
Haha. Well, tropical weather, obviously, hurricanes. I got here in 2002, and then in 2004, which was very quickly after I arrived, we had 4 hurricanes in one season. We had Charlie, Francis, Ivan, and Jean, and they all
the most incredible time between 04, 05.
Oh yeah,
diving in and learning quickly.
And that was it, really. It was trial by fire. I think one of the biggest things I learned, too, was that, people would joke with me when I was in Michigan saying, wait, you're going to Florida to do weather? There's no weather in Florida. It's always sunny and cloudy.
Yeah.
And that was the quickest thing I learned. While we don't have typical seasons like everybody does up north, we certainly have our own changing weather. We do have freezes. We do obviously have heat and humidity. We have thunderstorms. We have tornadoes, and we have hurricanes too. So there's all kinds of weather that happens here. In fact, sea breeze storms reminded me a little bit of lake effect snow. Obviously very different things, but there are certain similarities where weather is weather. No matter where you are in the country, there's these little nuances and different things, but weather still works the same way no matter where you are.
Well, and you guys have like every theme park under the sun. So I'm guessing,
yes.
Per capita, most people are visiting, they're going somewhere, and they're counting on that forecast.
Yes. And I thought too, when I got here, that my main viewers would be tourists, because of course we have Disney and SeaWorld and Universal and Fun Spot, and we have all these amazing places here. But it's funny that, yes, we have lots of tourists, but I'm really forecasting for the locals. The locals go to the theme parks as well, but they also have to get to work and school, day in and day out. So I think the one advantage is that people know who I am that live in other parts of the country, because everybody comes to Florida for vacation. So when they come here, they watch me on TV, and then they go back home to their snow and cold.
Well, you guys get tons of lightning there. Isn't that the lightning capital?
That's true.
Yes, that's our nickname between Daytona Beach and Tampa, right along I-4, which is Interstate 4, the big road that runs right through Central Florida. It's nicknamed the lightning capital of the U.S. And we do get more lightning strikes here than anywhere else. It used to be the lightning capital of the world. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's the U.S. I think we got beat out, but we're still in the top 5, I think, in the world.
I think you guys got that.
It's a lot.
So Amy, talk to us about, I love your books, and how long of a process from your idea to write to actual publishing completion, how long does that take?
It just depends. Each of the books were different for me. The first one, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And I did self-publish, by the way, all 3 of them. You can go through a traditional publisher, which is a whole other process, or you can self-publish. And, the self-publishing world is wonderful because it lets people get a book out there that maybe couldn't if they weren't able to connect with a traditional publisher. But you also don't have the backing of a publisher either, a traditional publisher. So I'm on my own for advertising and marketing. I'm on my own for trying to get, the word out about the books. And even just, hey, you spelled a word wrong. Nobody's there to tell me that. I have to figure that out on my own. So each book was different. Each process was different, trying to find somebody to help me do the publishing part, finding the editors, finding the illustrators and the graphic artists. Obviously, my snow book, I used an illustrator who actually drew the pictures. And then in my Let's Talk Weather book, it's all graphic art. So it looks more like a textbook that you might see in school. So I had to have an amazing graphic artist who did this one for me. And then my third activity book, I did it all on my big old self.
Oh, I love it. Oh my
So
gosh.
this one really took me out of my comfort zone, but it was a lot of fun figuring that one out.
Who needs a publisher when you're on the Stormfront Freaks? Just saying.
Exactly.
You know?
This is my marketing
true.
right here. Thanks, guys.
Oh my
So
God,
if somebody wanted to write a book, I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start because you said you can go to a self-publish, you can self-publish. Like what did you do? Google it?
Yes, I really did. And I still Google stuff because now I'm like, okay, should I get my own ISBN or should I, there's so many things that are out there now that self-publishing is becoming much more popular. So yes, whenever people say to me, how can I write a book? The first thing I say is just start Googling it. Compare the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. Children's books, especially, people think, oh, it's so simple because it's just a couple of words and it's a couple pictures and you're done. But there are specific things that schools and teachers and libraries are looking for. Books have to be a certain number of pages. They have to have a certain word count, the margins and the font and all these little things I didn't know when I first started.
Wow.
There's all these little rules about children's books that if you don't need to follow them, you can do whatever you want because you're self-publishing. But if you do follow these rules, it gets easier for libraries to take your book and for media centers at school to be very happy with your book versus somebody else's book that doesn't follow the rules.
So I'm Googling what is an ISBN? What the heck is that?
Sorry, that's your number on the back of the book with the little barcode. Every book has one.
Oh.
It's how you search. Every book that has a title has an ISBN number.
Oh, I see.
So,
Yeah.
Amy, I love your Let's Talk Weather book because it's totally like a handbook for kids. Like it's amazing. It's awesome. It goes through the process of just forecasting and answering questions. And I'm curious, when you go on school talks, what is the most common question that kids ask? And also what is like the craziest question that a child has ever asked you?
I get lots of questions. One that I often, first, of course, how much money do you make? I get that one a lot.
They ask you that? Wow.
Oh, they do. Of course, I never tell them, but I do let them know that, TV is like any other job. Sure, you can get rich and you can make lots of money, but you have to go work at a big network or work in New York or someplace like that. You're not going to do that if you're in Orlando or some other small town. So I try to explain that to them. I explain to them how you hardly make any money when you first graduate from college, and you usually have to have a second job and a roommate.
And 3 roommates.
Survive. Yes, exactly.
And eat ramen.
So that, yes, they do ask about money sometimes, or what kind of car I drive, or usually I get which one is stronger, bigger, worse, a tornado or a hurricane. What happens if a hurricane and a tornado come together? All those fun
Do they
things.
fight?
Exactly.
They fight.
Well, yes, they do. I say the hot air and the cold air get into a little bit of a fight. And they start wrestling around. Depends on the age group, but the little ones, they start wrestling
These are
around.
high school students you're talking to?
Yes. Yeah, usually
Exactly.
college, freshmen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Meteorology
All right.
101.
Hey, Storm Freaks and Weather Geeks, Accurite, they've got a new line of merch with stickers and T-shirts that help the National Weather Association Foundation. They actually give 20% of all proceeds that they earn goes to the National Weather Association Foundation. So you got to check this out. They've got Weather Nerd and Severe Weather. It's a tornado T-shirt. So they have a couple different T-shirts there if you want to proclaim your weather nerddom. Or you like tornadoes, they've got that. The stickers they have one that says I Heart Weather. They've got one that says Eyes on the Sky. It's a lightning bolt. It's kind of a cool image. If you're a storm spotter or chaser, they have one with a tornado on it, says Storm Spotter. And then those of you with kids, they also have one that says Junior Weather Watcher, as well as the same Weather Nerd T-shirt. They have a sticker for that as well. And then, again, I'm going to go back to if you're a storm spotter or chaser, they have a magnet with that storm spotter tornado image as well. So these are all brand new at Accurite. And again, all those proceeds go to the National Weather Association Foundation. You can find those at Accurite.com. And if you use promo code podcast, podcast, at checkout. You're going to get 10% off all Accurite products that you might have put into your cart, right? So go to Accurite.com for more information. Maz, what's that?
Do we have to spell podcast?
You do. Yeah,
10%'s pretty good, though.
Not
That is
bad.
good.
That's not bad. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a break, get another drink, and we'll be right back with Amy's lightning round.
You only get 5% if you spell it wrong.
That is correct. Okay, good. Any questions, Amy? Everything's good?
No, but I just saw the notes. My video's not good. I'm so sorry. It's probably my laptop or my internet connection or something, right?
Yeah,
At least it
your
sounds
video's
good, though.
Yeah, something's
Yeah,
going
you
on
sound
there,
great.
No, you sound great. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're
And that's what
adjusting
that's
for
what
it. It's all
matters.
good.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I sound weird in my earphones to myself, but I'm glad it sounds okay to you.
You're in broadcasting and you haven't figured that out yet?
I know.
Okay.
We're-
All right. So, anybody in questions? Everyone good so far? So
So far, so good.
We'll come back. Some more questions for Amy, and then we'll do the lightning round, and then we'll take another break. Sound good?
Cool.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
perfect.
Sounds
All
like a
right. So I
plan.
will start off the questions. Let's see which one am I missing.
You can be louder, Phil, but I think maybe your
really?
sickness or voice is maybe not. As
Yeah, but see, I'm peeking out on my meter, so I don't know why I'm coming through.
closer to the mic.
Why it's coming through quieter. I will turn it up, but
Nah, just
I don't want to get too hot.
Right. Nope. That's always a problem with you. I just had to say that, but
It is. I'm too sexy for this mic. I'm telling
Well
you
done,
right now.
MJ. Well done.
I'm too sexy
awesome.
for
Wow.
this shirt.
Too
Wow.
sexy
Sexy
for
for
my
this
mic.
shit.
Too sexy, it hurts.
It hurts. I'm a model. Hey, you're gonna like this, Amy. So you're gonna like your lightning round.
Okay.
We're gonna bring back a little 70s, 80s, 90s.
Ooh, 80s is my jam.
Oh,
I'm an
nice.
80s girl.
80s, 80s.
So we're gonna
Maybe.
be,
All right,
She had
Amy.
big
I'm
hair.
bringing
You
that
had big
back.
hair in the 80s, right?
I know. You
Did
could
you have
totally
big hair
pull
in
the
the
Heather
80s, Amy?
Locklear hair off.
Oh, I
Amy.
totally
yeah.
had big hair.
I
For
had the
Senior
biggest
prom,
hair.
it was out here.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I was totally rocking the Heather Locklear hair back then, and
Me too.
yeah,
I did.
it was good
Me
stuff.
too.
Big hair.
Little
I had an
eyeliner.
afro.
All right, so here we go. Wait, what's my question going to be? Hold on. What do I want?
Am I supposed to answer quickly? Is that why it's called the lightning round?
No,
Are you just gonna
no,
shoot the
no.
questions quickly?
Yes.
We're gonna just
No.
do some normal questions here first, and then we'll get to the lightning round.
Oh,
So-
yes, no questions.
So bear with me.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Coming back. 3, 2. All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. We're with meteorologist and the children's author. We've been talking with Amy Sweezey is with us here tonight from Orlando. We're wishing we kind of had that weather. A lot of us are sick and under the weather, and wishing we were in the 70s. What's the temp today? What was your high temp today, Amy?
Yeah, it was about 77, I think, but it's
Yeah, okay.
raining.
That's
if that
enough.
makes you feel
That's
any
enough.
better.
Oh,
That's enough. So I do want
Warm
to jump
rain.
back to this. So you jumped from up north, you jumped down to Florida, and bam, they got some tropical weather down there. They don't have up in Michigan.
Right?
And you talked about the fact that you really were thrown into the fire right away in 2004, 2005. But since then, I guess what I'm curious to know is, of all the tropical weather and hurricanes you've been through, tropical storms, which one or which couple have really been most memorable to you that played a big part, whether it was you professionally or maybe it was for you and your family?
Well, 04 definitely, just because they were 3 right in a row, and it was when I had just gotten here. I was also 9 months pregnant with my oldest daughter during 04.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So she was born in September, and Charlie came through August 13th. And then Francis was 2 weeks later over Labor Day. And then Jean made landfall as I was in the hospital having my daughter. So
Oh, man.
that's very memorable for so many reasons.
Which hurricane did you name her after?
Yes, we did not. Although people did ask if we were going to name her
Yeah.
Jean, but we did not.
Yeah.
Did not need a memory of that one. That's for sure. Katrina, even though it obviously was devastating for New Orleans, it did have some impacts here. Also, we have a sister station in New Orleans, WDSU, that was flooded out in Katrina, and they all had to leave the station. So we were forecasting Katrina landfall here from Florida to anybody who could still see us there, which I'm not sure if anybody could even see us, but we were pretending like they could. And so we were forecasting. So that was a memorable experience. More recently, I think Irma, that was a big one here a couple of years ago. We had Matthew, which kind of skirted the coast in recent years. And Matthew was the one that probably scared me the most. I actually sent my kids to Tampa because Matthew was coming in on the East Coast over by Cape Canaveral. And I sent my kids over to Tampa to be with my sister so they'd be farther away. And we were so lucky that it kind of took a jog at the last minute and skirted up the coast and did some damage. We still had 100, I think 10 mile per hour winds, but it was all out in a lot of unincorporated areas near the Cape and along the coast at the beaches. There was some damage, but it wasn't as far inland as it could have been. So we were really fortunate with that one. Irma, of course, came up through the Keys, came up South Florida and basically just beelined it straight up the state. So everyone was impacted in some way by Irma. Irma was the one that I slept at the station overnight, and which we do if we can't get home safely. And I was asleep in an edit bay, and I had been sleeping for 2 hours, so I'd basically taken a nap so far. And someone came in and knocked on the door and said, "We need you to leave this room. The front of the building is coming off."
Oh my God.
Oh my
right
God.
over your head. Yes. So, but it wasn't from the actual hurricane. It was from the tornadoes. There were just so many tornadoes in those feeder bands that came through, and the whole top of the roof came off, and our newsroom flooded, and all the sales offices upstairs were flooding. So all the people that had spent the night at the station were awakened, including some of the salespeople who had stayed, and they were upstairs cleaning up water while we were all on TV, with the center of Irma coming up into Central Florida at that time. So that one was crazy. And then, of course, Dorian, this last one. I wasn't as nervous about Dorian. I felt really confident that Dorian was going to turn. But even though it did exactly what it was supposed to do, even though we watched the devastation in the Bahamas, even though, it started to curve, there's still just that little thing in the back of your mind that's like, oh, man, what if that doesn't happen? What if it comes, you still have that fear of what if it's not going to turn? What if it's going to still come here? So I think that's another one that was just a very close call for us. And I'm very glad that it stayed for the most part out over the water and away from us here in Central Florida.
That's so crazy, Amy. So what's the longest stretch of time that you've been live on the air, like nonstop?
Oh gosh. I try not to remember this kind of stuff because it's depressing.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Because
there's
talk about something else.
No, I know. But it's because there's more than one. There's so many times where, if we have a tornado warning and there's multiple, we have a 10 county area here in Central Florida. So if a tornado comes through one county and then goes to the next, we just stay on TV until the warning has passed. So certainly hours on end. It's pretty rare that I'm here by myself, though. If we have tornadoes or hurricanes, we'll team up. So I'll tag team with somebody else pretty often. Back in Hurricane Francis, I was here 12 days straight. And then Dorian, I worked 12 days straight. And our shifts when we do hurricanes is 12 on, 12 off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off.
Yep.
12 hours that you're on TV. So it's not like you show up at 2 a.m. and then you do your makeup and your hair and you look at the clock and you get ready. No, when you at 2 a.m. you are on TV and you stay on TV till 2 p.m. And then at 2 p.m. you try to unwind, figure things out, get home. And then you have to sleep at some point between about 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. plus eat and see your family because you have to wake up at 11 p.m. to turn around and come back in the next morning at 2. So those are long days. I'm glad that we don't have to do them very often.
You don't have a lot of long track tornadoes down there, do you? So when you are on for tornado warnings, is it fairly quick?
It is. 45 minutes, couple of hours at the most. Yes, we do not. In fact, the strongest we really ever have is an F3, and that is rare. That's a every 10-year event type of thing. Normally we get F0s, F1s. They're often rain wrapped and very difficult to see. A lot of times we can't even see the rotation on the radar. As a meteorologist, I get a little bit jealous. I know it's weird, but you guys all get it. I get a little jealous when I see some of the radar imagery coming out of the plains or someplace out west where they have these incredible tornado signatures because we just don't have that kind of thing here.
Yeah, but you guys have the water spouts.
That's true.
That's very true.
I see the best beach cams from Florida and water spouts all the time.
And thankfully we have those cameras because again, we rarely can see them on the radar. So back before we had all the smartphones and everybody sending us images on social media, it was difficult to even know there was a water spout. And now, of course, we can know instantly because people are sending us pictures.
So crazy.
So with you getting up at like 2 a.m, how do you keep your energy level, the same all the way through the time period? Because for me, when I was eating, I was like,
Coffee.
yeah, and then I'm like,
Coffee.
Tea. Yes. Small little snacks. I try to, because it's a grind, 4.5 hours. Cause we're NBC, but we're also CW. So we do NBC from 4:30 to 7. And then when the Today Show starts at 7, we go over to the CW, which is the same studio. From 7 to 9, we're on there straight for 2 more hours doing the morning show. So
That's a
4.5
long
hours
day to be on camera.
It's a lot. I try to pretend in my brain and remind myself in my brain that every time I'm on, it's a new audience. So I try to be fresh. I try to say it a new way. I try to not forget things because I just said it because maybe these people didn't hear what I just said 10 minutes ago. So I have to kind of play mental games with myself to kind of stay fresh and upbeat.
How many cut-ins do you have? Like total?
So the show is straight on from 4:30 to 9 a.m. and I'm on 4 times a half hour.
Wow.
Ooh.
3 to 4 times each half hour, depending on it's a lot.
And what are this, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
1 minute, 1 minute, 2:30 is my big weather with the 7-day. And then another like 30 seconds or like the teases and the shorter stuff. But usually it's a 1 minute, and a 2:30, unless we have hurricanes. And then I pretty much take what I want.
Yeah.
But on a
then they give you
day,
anything you want.
Yeah.
Do you get weather trolls that are from out of town that are visiting like, hey, you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You ruined my day at Disney. I get that.
Oh.
Not just from out of town, though. There's a few locals who, love my hair, love my clothes, love to let me know it.
Oh,
Can you feel that sarcasm? Yeah.
Yep.
Amy, you look amazing always.
Yeah,
you're
we
so
are.
sweet.
Hey,
Thank you.
and that's the sound, Amy. It is time for our lightning round. I was going to tell you next time you get some trolls, go ahead and respond to them on Twitter.
Okay.
And we'll have our weather trollbot 5000 interpret your thoughts for you. You got to check out some past episodes for that. But so this is our lightning round. So this is our game show of flashy questions we always play with our guests. We invite everybody to play along, and tonight's definitely one everybody can play along with because we're going to be playing a game called Name That Christmas Toy of the Decade.
Ooh.
Oh, this is
Name that Christmas toy of the decade. So I figured, it's about that time of year. And so we're going to go back a little bit, but how we're going to play this game, Amy, is I've got a list of some very famous toys from the Christmas season in various decades. I've got the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. And so I'm going to let you pick a couple decades, and I'm going to try and name a toy. Now, I'm not going to give you the name of the toy.
Okay.
But I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
And then it's up to you to tell me what toy I'm talking about. And if you get it right, you get a point. If you don't get it right, then it's going to pass to the freaks, and the freaks get to try and decide if they can figure out what it is. And I'll give them a point.
These
The
lovely people
co-hosts.
here.
You watch the name calling, all right?
All right, so here we go. So 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Where do you want to start, Amy?
Well, let's start with the 70s when I was a mere child. Hopefully I'll know since I played with toys in the 70s.
Okay, so here's the first one. For the parents who wanted their kids to have perfect spelling and grammar when they got older, this toy was the ideal gift, featuring a speech synthesizer, a keyboard, LCD screen, and an expansion port for cartridges to play games. This educational toy was a peek into the future. Can you tell me what that toy was?
I know it. I don't think I had one though, but my friends did. My friends had all the cool toys.
Okay.
I
What
had
was it?
one, I think.
And I know what it looks like, but what was the name?
Is it green?
Know.
Was it green?
Oh, I thought it was blue.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to flip it over to the freaks right now. Dina's raising her hand.
Go
ahead.
Speak and spell.
That's
Oh.
correct. It is the
I
speaking
think it's
spell.
spelled orange.
Was it red? Oh, it was orange?
It was like
Orange
red
and
and orange and yellowish.
yeah.
There's some yellow.
Yeah.
Red. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, next, and we can stay with the 70s, or we
Let's
can
go
move
with
to
the 80s.
All right, moving to the 80s.
I might be better in the 80s.
There's sheer joy that you feel when you successfully unscramble those colored squares. This challenging toy was introduced in the U.S. in 1980 and immediately became one of the most popular toys of the decade. Can you name that toy?
Better be the Rubik's Cube.
And that is
Ding-a-ding.
correct. It is
There
the
you
Rubik's
go.
Cube.
Good job.
Good job. All right, another one. Same decade, different
do I get
decade.
to
What do you
stick
want?
with the 80s? Because I'm
Sure.
probably going to know these better.
All right, here we go. Staying with the 80s.
Okay.
Like Barbie, this became the favorite toy of every little girl when it was released in 1982. It was available in a rainbow of colors and with cute and special emblems on them. It was a hit and led to a film and a TV series.
I know.
What is it?
Care Bears. No!
That is incorrect.
Oh.
All right, moving to the
That's a
freaks.
question.
Moving to the freaks. Favorite toy of every little girl. Cute special emblems on them. Jen?
Start with an S.
Is it the American Doll or whatever? I can't think of the.
Is it Smurfs?
No, no Smurfs.
My Little Pony.
My Little
Wow. MJ, what were you doing?
I
in
loved
here?
my Little Pony,
It's funny that MJ's like, you got it.
but Phil kept stealing it from me. So
That's great.
Oh.
Aw.
Whatever. All right. Where are we going, Amy? What decade do you want to be in?
Oh, let's see. Let's try the 90s. I don't know
All
how
right,
many
trying to
toys in the
redeem
90s.
herself. All right, being easy to carry and with addicting games like Tetris and The Amazing Spider-Man, this has become the top-selling game system of all time. Although there are many types of consoles out today, the gray and white block was the original classic.
Would that be the Game Boy?
That would be correct. It was the Game Boy.
Good job.
Good job. All right, keep
I
going.
better-
What decade?
I better go back to the 70s.
We'll do a couple more. All right, this is the last one from the 70s.
Okay.
One of the first arcade video games using 2D graphics. It became the most popular game of the 1975 holiday season. Sales of $40 million for the year. That's pretty good for a video game where you watch two lines on a TV screen juggle a ball.
Gave it away.
I had this one.
What is it?
Pong.
That's correct.
yeah, hours of
Popular.
fun.
We
Pong.
thought we were so cool because
Yes.
we had Pong.
Could you spin it? Could you spin the ball? Like,
Oh, yeah, where you like make it bounce off the
mhm.
paddles in the wall.
That was a classic. All right, do a couple more. What decade do you want to be in?
Can we go back to the 80s?
We'll go back to the 80s. Absolutely adorable and with the cutest name ever. They became the hottest toy of 1983, and 3 million were sold by New Year's Day in 1984. The craziness behind getting one inspired the 1996 holiday movie Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What is that toy?
Before you said the movie, my guess was going to be Cabbage Patch Kids.
But what is your guess now?
But Jingle All the Way, I don't know. I'm not sure.
So what's
I got
your
Cabbage
guess?
Patch Kids.
It is
Yay!
Cabbage
Yay!
Patch. You had it right. All right, last one. MJ, I'm going to let you pick a decade. Pick a decade. 70s are taken.
You said you're out of 70s. Do another 80s.
Another 80s. Okay, here we go. This is for the boys. Before the blockbuster movies of the 2000s, these were basically the coolest toys ever in the 1980s. Based on similar toys made in Japan, boys could play in a battle of huge and powerful machine robots.
Oh,
Amy, name that toy.
yeah.
Was it the Rock'em Sock'em boxing guys?
No,
Rock'em
but I'll
Sock'em
give you a
Robots.
hint.
No.
Oh,
Give you a
Rock'em.
hint. You could be either an Autobot or a Decepticon.
Yeah. Starts with the
That's
T.
not helping Amy out much.
That's not helping me.
All right, Maz, I think you got it. What is it?
Transformers.
Farmers.
That is
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
Wow, that was
know it
the
either.
one
I didn't know it
of those.
either.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Very good. Hey, you want to hear some of the other ones you guys remember
Yes.
from the 1980s? Polly Pocket.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
God. It's still popular now.
How about the Nintendo,
Nintendo.
entertainment system? How about
Nintendo's
in the
still going
90s?
strong.
90s Beanie Babies,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The 90s? Wow.
Tickle Me Elmo. Furby. You guys remember Furby?
Furby, yeah.
Or Tamagotchi. The Tamagotchi little digital pets. And then 2000s, no one touched that. We have Razor scooters, Bratz, Zuzu Pets, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 3, and the iPod Touch.
Wow. Oh, wow.
We've come a long way since Pong.
Yeah.
Since Pong.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, come a long way. So, Amy, thanks for playing along with us. I want to do this. First off, tell us where we can find these amazing books that you've got that you self-published.
Oh, I think my computer is like doing weird things, but I think you asked me where you could find my book.
Yes, where can you get the books?
Okay, good. So amysweezey.com is my website, and all of them are available. 2 of them you can actually get on Amazon, but my Let's Talk Weather book I did not do on the Amazon site. So if you go to amysweezey.com, which is my website, you can get information how to order all of the books.
And I love that. And Sweezey, by the way, SWEEZEY, amysweezey.com.
Yes, 3 E's.
If you're watching it, you see it. And then how can people find you on social media?
Same thing. My name is everything. So I'm Amy Sweezey on Twitter. I'm Amy Sweezey on Facebook. I'm Amy Sweezey on LinkedIn and Snapchat and Instagram.
Wait, I was Amy Sweezey on Chaps.
She took it. She took it. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. With the holidays here, I need to tell you guys about the Drive Weather app. I used to, so when I drive, so I live in Cincinnati, and I would drive up in the holiday season. I'd go up to Wisconsin and Minnesota. But what I used to always do is I would look up the National Weather Service forecasts for each of the cities I was driving through on my way up there. So I'd check out Indianapolis and Chicago and Milwaukee and the Twin Cities, and just to kind of see what's the forecast going to be like on my way there. Well, lo and behold, here comes the Drive Weather app, which now does all of that for me with the slide of a timeline. I can see what the weather's going to be like along my route when I get there. So not what the weather is right now when I leave, but what's the weather going to be at that location when I'm there on my route. This is an amazing app. You can get Drive Weather app on iOS and Android. There's a free version up to 2 days of weather and city-to-city routing, or you can get the year subscription for $9.99. It gives you 7 days of weather. It also gives you wind and direction, so you can kind of know are you going to be fighting the wind or driving with the wind, and also gives you address-to-address routing of your trip. So this is amazing. You can find out more this holiday season at driveweatherapp.com. So we're going to go ahead and take our final break. When we come back, we got our hashtag WeatherFools and WX resources. Very good. Amy, thank you so much.
Amy.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
Thank you for the books. I really love them.
Yes.
I love your Let's Talk Weather. I love it. The graphics are great. I love that you have a glossary in the back. Like just something from I've always liked glossaries. You can't learn something if you don't know what you're trying to do. And sometimes kids just need to look it up.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so thankful that you guys invited me to be on the show. I'm glad it worked out, Phil. You sent me the email months ago, and it took me forever to find it. So
well, things happen for a reason, so that's good. Hey, before you go, can you do us one quick favor? Can you give us a little sound bite?
Sure.
And can you just say, hey, this is Amy Sweezey, meteorologist and children's author, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Whatever title you want to use is up to you. I don't care, but if you could say that, it'd be great.
Okay. You want to count down or just go?
Go ahead. You can do it.
Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Amy Sweezey, meteorologist and children's book author here in Orlando, Florida, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Wow.
Total perfection.
Well done.
Better than I could have done, that's for sure.
That's true. I would.
I've been
agree
on
with
the
that.
show.
I would agree with that. All right, Amy. Again, thank you so much. I will follow up with you. We'll edit this audio.
Okay.
And as I mentioned to you, we'll post it usually on Sunday.
Okay.
And I can give you links down the road, or I'll put it on Twitter if you want.
Great. That'll be great. Yeah, I'll share it on all my platforms as well.
Yeah.
So.
Very good. And good luck with the writing. I look forward to seeing the next one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye, you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so
Good night.
much. Bye.
Okay. Weather Fools.
Yep.
Weather fool.
Dina, that's
I
all
got
you.
that. Okay.
Now I'm going to do this. So we'll count in with the applause, but then I'm going to play our new Weather Fools jingle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No royalty, huh?
Yeah, you know, I realize no one cares. Every other podcast uses them too.
Is it ass cap or ass hat? Just kidding. Can you tell? It's all gone.
It's all good.
Yeah, okay.
So who's got Weather Fools?
I've got 3.
Phil? Okay, I have one.
I see Dina's screen already. Yay.
Yeah. And then anybody else? Just me and Phil?
All right.
Yeah.
And hey,
Okay.
by the way, who do we have on live we need to shout out to that we haven't already? So pretty much
Parker,
Chris.
Christine.
Thanks
And-
for staying with us, you guys.
Yeah.
right?
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Parker, Christine, and
Shane Adams
Shane.
was
Shane
on?
was on at one time anyway. So
Oh, yeah. What happened to Shane?
He said, "Damn, this is kind of early, isn't it?"
yeah, and then said, "That's it. I can't be here."
I
this
like
early."
it early.
Yeah, I'm like rushing to get here and get set up.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
like it.
It's a bit of a
Yeah.
challenge,
Oh,
but
Yeah.
I understand, Dina. I'm sorry.
But we're not doing it again.
We're not. No, not unless we have a guest that has to do it early, which we will again. We've got
All right.
Ginger Z's coming up again.
Oh, yeah.
and
That's
we'll have
good.
to do it for her, and yeah. Okay, so we got Weather Fools, and then and reminder, episode 94, show notes, and then WX Resources will be Jen. So Jen will introduce that.
Woohoo.
And who's got WX?
I have
Resources?
I actually have, so
nothing.
my resources are ice scrapers because I've struggled to find a good one that works. So I've
Move
Did you
Florida.
find one now or what?
I do. So
That's cool.
I have the Snow Joe set of 2 handheld ones.
You gonna send us each one or what?
Oh, no.
I said,
My grandson wants one, Jen.
But there's also, so I've never tried a heated ice scraper. I don't know if you guys have.
Oh,
But there's one that's like $15.99 that has 4.5 stars. I'm like really big into reviews, so I'm going to mention it, but I haven't tried it yet.
I wonder if a heated one is going to do anything, though. You know
Does
what
it
I mean?
take
I'm
battery? Is
from
it
I'm
battery
from
powered or
Ohio.
something?
Yeah, you charge it. You can put it right into your car. What's it called?
Oh, the car
Cigarette
adapter,
lighter?
the cigarette-
Yeah, the cigarette lighter.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Dina, did you say you're from Ohio?
Yes, you
You didn't
knew
know that?
that.
Columbus.
That, Maz.
Well, I went to
went
Ohio
to
State
Ohio
in
State.
Columbus.
No, you went to the
The Ohio
Oh,
State.
That's right. It's all coming back.
Who's
to
going to
me.
win the national title, by the way?
yeah, we'll see.
But
All right.
I'm from like Cleveland area, suburbs.
So Dina's got WX Resource. Jen's got
Yeah.
one. I was just gonna throw out our episode 93 holiday weather gifts episode, but
Well, there you
it's
go.
kind of
Yes,
self promotion. So,
That's a good one.
It's all right.
but I'll use it. That's fine. You can do that. And then episode 94 show notes, and then jump to Freak Fan Box. MJ, you got something for that?
Got it.
All right.
Yes, I do.
And
And then
Phil, how do we end
I'll
weather
close us out.
resources?
Just say, and you can find the links to all of those. So Jen, send me the links
Okay. Yes.
to what you're going to talk about, just so I can get those on our show notes. But just say you can find all those links on our show notes. Just look up episode 94 show notes. You can find that on our website, or a lot of times if you listen to us on your phone, it's on the app, the podcast app you're listening to,
Perfect.
Did you get all
Awesome.
that?
Yes. Absolutely.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't
to
have
the
be
word.
like
He
that.
wants it by the word. Don't let him tease you.
I know.
Okay.
Phil, write it out. Type it out.
Dina
I need a
knows me.
script.
Dina knows me too
I know,
well.
Phil.
No.
Oh, Phil,
Okay.
you're so awesome.
And then we'll close up and we're good.
Woo!
All right. So Dina, I'm going to count you in. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Coming in 3, 2.
So this is the time of the show called Weather Fools. The time of the show where we look for videos and things when people do kind of silly or stupid things that get caught on camera. And it has to do with weather. You know, nowadays we have a camera phone with high definition, and there's all kinds of good things that we catch.
Who's the weather?
So, Phil, you have a couple Weather Fools, right?
I actually do. Yep. First one I'm going to hit. I've got to share my screen. I haven't done that for MJ yet. Apologize for that. But go ahead and share my screen. The first one I've got with you is from the National Weather Service in Caribou, Maine. This is up in Maine, so this is their Twitter account. You guys see that okay?
Yes.
So what they did is they did a weather balloon launch. This was in mid-November, but they're talking about how windy it is. And the funny thing is, I'll play it for you twice, but when they release the weather balloon, you'll notice that it goes flying right into the camera. And they lost, what the challenge is they lost the weather sonde that was on the balloon. It fell off because it hit this tower that this camera was on, and it fell off. But what I want you to do now is I play it a second time, and I'm going to do it kind of slow motion, is I want you to watch the reaction of the meteorologist that launched it when it hits and falls off. He puts his hands on his heads and he says,
he's like, I'm in so much trouble.
Right. Yeah. So he saw that happen and bam, he goes, no.
Oh, no.
How much do weather balloons cost? Aren't they? Like, they're expensive, right?
Well, the helium definitely is expensive. That's for sure. I know that's expensive. I can't remember how much like the sondes cost.
Yeah, there's got to be. They can't be cheap.
You don't want to crash them frequently.
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't think so. No, I definitely wouldn't think you want to do that. Okay, the next one's definitely an audio one that I've got to share with you guys. So I got to pull this up on Twitter as well, and I'll share this on the screen. But this was from the National Weather Service. And it's a turnaround, don't drown video, but it goes along with the song, and I'll try and we'll play the song here for you too.
I love it.
Oh, actually, I've seen this and I love this too.
So,
I love that.
What's kind of funny is the Twitter says snubbed. We're disappointed our catchy jingle wasn't nominated for a Grammy. But it does show video, obviously, of vehicles going through water and doing stupid things, and then at the very end, it finally shows them turning around. So
it's a good song. I like it.
It's catchy.
So they don't drown. Yep. And then the last one I want to share with you guys is actually just a photo. I'm going to see if I can hopefully share this with you guys. But this is a photo of, can you see this?
Not yet.
No, it's a photo. So I'm going to explain this to you because I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this up. But, you got to be careful with the weather apps that come on your phone. Like the native apps, like the Apple Weather app or the Google Weather. I don't know if there's a Google Weather app. I don't have Android, but... So my wife, actually, this is a couple weeks ago, she was looking on her Apple Weather app on her phone, and we were getting a little snow at the time, but it shows hourly what the forecast is, and this was like around 8:16 p.m. actually. But it showed 9 o'clock, 60% chance of snow, 10 o'clock, 60% chance of snow, 11 o'clock, 30% chance of snow. But it said right now, it showed a picture of a tornado, and it said tornado.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
And there was nothing. I have no idea where the hell that was coming from.
Oh my
But
God.
could you imagine if you didn't really know and understand, and all of a sudden you pull up your app because it's snowing outside, and you look at your Apple Weather app and it says now tornado, and it says your city tornado, and you're freaking out. What the hell
That's
is that
crazy.
crap?
Somebody was off having a break. Didn't check that or something.
It's actually
So don't guys find a good weather app like Atmosphere Weather app or something like that. Don't follow your native phone app because
could it have been a
weather.com.
Snownado?
Weather Channel app.
Weather.com, yes.
Snownato.
I work on that thing 5 days a week.
It's actually, I love it, Dina.
or that one, yeah.
Like, I
that's
literally
true.
love it. And I
Yeah.
get the alerts and everything.
That's my favorite.
Thank
Number
you,
one.
Maz.
Serious, really.
I make the graphics for that.
I have like 10 cities on it.
Oh, really?
Because when I open it up, it populates all of the temperatures right there for me. And I'm like, all the different cities.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I love that.
Good.
Well, you could keep track of your family members and what the
There you
weather's
go.
like where they are.
That's Life 360. I know where everybody is.
All right. I do have one weather fool before I hand it off to the weather resources. So let me share my screen. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So this is funny. It says this, don't be like this guy, be patient. So he's down trying to clear the ice off the back of his car, and he looks like he's just given up on life. Like he's just hitting it, and then he smashes his back window. And you can, it's hard to see, but then it zooms in a little bit. Like he's just kind of whacking it. Like I just want to get the hell out of here. He's beating it with the scraper. He's not even scraping, and he broke the window. Look at it.
Hole through it.
Oh, he put a hole through it, and now he's. I mean,
yeah, that's really got to ruin your day.
It does. You could tell he was
you could
not.
tell right when he did it too. He's like,
yeah, and it looks like he's wearing flip flops and socks. What is he? You know, come on, guy.
That's not how
the munchies. He was going to get some Doritos.
He's just like, I just want to get the hell out of here, and then he breaks this whole window. It's so funny.
Oh my god!
All right, but if you guys want to look back at these, check out Stormfront Freaks episode 94 show notes. You can see it on the phone, and then you can play them again and laugh like I did when I watched that guy.
And you can just sing to that catchy jingle if you'd like to.
Turn around.
Yeah, turn around.
Turn
good,
around.
Good.
Now I got it in my head.
You Dina, that was a great segue, Dina, on the scraper, because we're going to jump to WX Resources. Jen, fill us in on what that is, and why don't you hit yours first?
Okay, so this is Weather Resources, where we talk about different websites, apps, anything that can help forecast the weather, anything geeky fun, even things that can help make your life easier in bad weather. And so recently, I live in Atlanta, and, we get, a couple inches of snow maybe a year, but lately there's been ice in my windshield in the morning, and it frustrates me. Not as much as that guy. But it frustrates me. So I'm like, I either use my credit card or I know I'm so bad. Or I have a very small, tiny ice scraper, cheap one that doesn't really work that well. So I found they're the Snow Joes set of 2. So instead of just like scraping with one, they've got grips. And so you can do 2 at the same time. And they're amazing. And the grips are so awesome. And so let's see. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I think they're QVC, which QVC can get me a lot. But they work. And they have 4.5 stars. And so they're really awesome. And they're only just over $20, which is great. Now, I've never used a heated ice scraper. I've thought about it, and a lot of them are really expensive. Like Sharper Image has some really nice looking ones, but there's a heated ice scraper at untilgone.com. And the cool thing I like about this one, it comes with a flashlight on it. So if you're scraping at night or even early in the morning when it's still dark, and you just plug it into your 12-volt lighter jack in your car, it heats up and it helps scrape it off that much faster.
It helps you see the hole that you put in your window.
Right.
I'm hoping that the handle heats up more than the scraper, because I want to keep my hand warm.
Yeah, right.
That's a good point.
This is true. This is very true. So the Snow Joe set of 2 for sure. But when you're starting your car, you can use that and plug it right in. And it's got 4.5 stars too. I look at the reviews a lot when I look at products, and if it's 4 stars or higher, I'm like, there's something to this product, and people love it.
What's the name of the one that's like wax on, wax off?
Oh my God, there's Snow Joe Ice Dozer.
The Karate Kid.
Snow
the Karate Kid.
Joe.
You can get them, there's different variations. You can get them at
Mr.
Home
Miyagi.
Depot, QVC. There's different variations, but they're awesome. Yeah, it's like 2 of them, and you can just like go crazy.
It's the Miyagi.
Yeah. You can get out your aggression on your car without breaking the windshield.
Yeah.
So those are mine.
All right.
So if you need an ice scraper, they might help.
All right.
Does anybody have any?
Yeah, I have one.
Dina's
I have
got
one. All right. So we've talked about this site before, the weather models, but I just recently, this is one of those websites that you have to purchase. And normally I'm pretty cheap because there's so much data out there that's free, but I've really gotten into this. It's got a good Euro model on it, which is really good color tables. You've got the GFS, you've got all kinds of models, but you can get really detailed in things. And there's so many different pieces to this model, and I just can't say enough about it. Now, I've had it for about a month. You can buy it by the year. It's like $100, so that's kind of expensive, but you can also do it by the monthly, which is like about $12. And since I have to look at models all day long, I kind of do want something good. I'm really digging it for snow, especially snow totals. Especially now when the models are going, different places, or different, like it's taking different tracks, and you kind of want to see what one has above the other, but I can't see enough about it. I very rarely pay for anything.
I was going to say, did you get the Weather Channel pay for that?
No, I should have asked. I should have asked.
You use it for
Still
work.
ask.
I would.
Yeah, I should. I was thinking
bill.
about it. I'll expense it and see if it gets approved.
Yeah. How many like licenses or how many computers can you have it on for that?
I mean, you log into your account. So,
okay.
I can use it wherever. I've got it on my laptop, my work laptop, wherever.
So what's your username and password again?
I'll pass it out later. It's like the Netflix. The whole family uses Netflix.
That's right, sister.
Oh, yeah.
Dina forecasts like several hours a day, so she knows what she's talking about. When she has a recommendation, you take it seriously, and you consider shelling out the money for it.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's it for
I do like it. I do like it.
I'm going to throw one out there quick as a shameless plug. Our episode, so this is episode 94. Our previous episode 93 was our holiday weather gifts show. And we had, 15 some gifts.
Great stuff.
Of weather, all weather geeky. If you're a weather geek, this was a great show to kind of find out all the different kinds of weather themed things that are out there, from inexpensive stuff to some stuff that was a little pricey, but high quality stuff. So I would encourage you to check that out. Go back to episode 93 and either listen or watch that to kind of get an idea of some great holiday weather gifts and some great WX resources.
Santa didn't even have that many gifts.
I don't think. No, they're amazing.
There are a lot of good ones.
There's some awesome stuff on there. All right, guys. So if you want the links to all of these weather resources, just go to stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 94, and look at the show notes. Also, you can just do it on your podcast app right there. You'll have the show notes there as well.
That's right.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line. You've got mail, baby, yeah.
All right, MJ, what do we got in the Freak fan box?
All right, we got some things. The Pawnee Storm Chasers gave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts.
Nice.
Excellent.
Saying my favorite podcast to listen to because not only does it teach me more about weather, but it's also entertaining.
Oh, thank you.
High quality production, thank you, with a wide variety of hosts. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Thank you.
Nice. Great.
10 out of 10 is hard.
Woo!
That
Yeah.
is 5.5.
I know.
That's
Usually
like landing the triple flip.
And
Stick
for all
in the
you out
land.
there,
Stick the landing.
we are all over the place out there. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, all of those places where you get your podcasts. And if you're listening to us, leave us a review. We'd love to see it, hear it, learn from it, and talk about it on the air. So please do that.
We're on Chapsnet.
Sorry. Yeah,
We're on Chapsnet.
sure.
Chap snap. He's making it up now.
Now we got a couple folks checked in on Twitter. Tristan Deli said, just discovered your podcast 3 months ago and finished to catch up everything with episode
Wow.
93 today.
Oh,
Wow, Binger. Love
That's
it.
dedication.
Is he unemployed?
It must be.
That's
How do you do that?
amazing.
I love binging.
I love
Yeah.
your content. As a Swiss weather aficionado, I dream about capturing U.S. storms. So it's international. Thank you, Tristan.
Nice.
Thanks for every interesting tip and content.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, we love you guys.
We do. Maybe not so much Maz, but the rest of us do.
I'm like, how the heck did I go through all those episodes?
That is amazing.
pretty good.
That is amazing. All right. So
And-
this better. Oh, sorry.
No. And Pawnee Storm Chasers were giving us lots of love because they checked in on Twitter too and said, what should you do if you're snowed in for the day?
Drink.
Well,
And
listen
Good
to
answer.
the Stormfront Freaks podcast because
Yeah, that too.
they go together.
Do they know
Yeah.
about the slowing it down? That I love that, man.
That's right.
Slow the speed down on YouTube.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Dang, that's
if
funny.
if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you can change the speed that
Right.
you're listening to us. And during our "What Are You Drinking" segment,
Oh
you
my
can
gosh.
slow us down to half speed. and listen to us talk about what we're drinking. It is.
That was
good.
so
That's
Or
hilarious.
speed it up and
right
have
there.
an espresso.
That too. That too.
So
All
that's
right.
it. There you go. Thanks.
Good,
everybody.
good. So I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening and watching. Before I reveal our next guest, as MJ talked about, we'd love to hear your reviews. You guys all know, typically people don't say anything unless they're unsatisfied with something. And I'm telling you what, it feels great to know, because we're episode 94 now. It's good to hear every once in a while when someone says, hey, love you guys, or love listening to you. Here's what I like about you, whatever it is. So we love hearing that. So tell us what you like, and tell us if there's something that you didn't like that we maybe should stop.
Just be
stop
nice
doing.
about it, though.
And we might listen, we might not, but always leave us a great review if you get a chance, or jump on Twitter or Facebook and let us know what you think of the show, and then always subscribe. So there's a chance, however you're listening to us, there's always a follow or a subscribe option button that you can push, and when you hit that, all it does, it guarantees you the minute we upload the next episode, it'll show up in your podcast inbox, so that you get it the minute we upload it, instead of having to find us or follow, see if we got a new episode out or not. So always don't forget to subscribe. I do want to shout a special thanks out tonight to Amy Sweezey.
Yeah, great job, Amy.
We had a lot of fun with Amy, and she's got some great books. So definitely check those out if you have kids and you want to get them interested in the hobby of weather that you like as well. Certainly check those out. Our next episode, so we're going to be recording live, and we've got a crazy schedule. So if you're actually following our recordings, I do want to probably give a little apology, because with the holiday schedule, we've been a little bit all over the place this year, which typically isn't the case. But one of our shows would have fallen right on Thanksgiving. And the next showing, because we're a bi-weekly show, the next one would fall on the 26th of December, right after Christmas. So our next episode, we're actually going to be recording next week, live on YouTube, Thursday, December 19th. And the show time's a little different. We're going to be recording at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 Central. So we're a little bit hour later than we normally do. And part of that is because I'm going to be at the premiere of the new Star Wars movie.
Are we sure it's going to open?
Priorities.
And so,
Priorities.
Yes.
sorry, you may as well understand that now, I guess. But so I wanted to do the show, right? So I didn't want to just, because I could have just left it for you guys, said you guys do it, but I'm dedicated, so we just.
Hey, at least you're telling the truth. You could be like, my mom was having heart surgery.
That's true.
Oh no.
Well, MJ would know I'd be lying if I did that. She would know. So. But anyway, so next Thursday, the 19th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be with Pawnee Storm Chasers, Parker Koppas. He's going to share his harrowing story of how storm chasing actually saved him from taking his life. So this is what's amazing about weather. Guys, weather is amazing, but to me, there's nothing more amazing than when the intrigue of weather can actually encourage someone enough to pursue a passion that would take him away from potentially taking his life. And so he shared that on Twitter, and we're going to get to talk to him a little bit as well next week about that. So that should be a great story. So for MJ, for Maz, for Dina, and Jen, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear, and we will catch you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Are you sure the movie's going to be out? Because they haven't finished the ending, I thought.
They haven't. No.
Yes, it's done. They finished it last Sunday. JJ said he finished it last Sunday. Yep. Yep. Everything else is rumor.
That's a good show.
There's rumor that they did screenings that people walked out on, and they never did screenings. They never did any of that shit. Yeah.
All right. You go to bed super early tonight.
I know. Thank God, because I'm just trying to feel better.
Right. We timed that just for you, Dina.
I know. When I saw that,
had nothing to do with Amy. It was all about you.
I know.
It was all about you.
So.
Oh my God.
All right,
you
guys.
are you
Feel
freezing,
better.
Jen?
Everyone feel better.
Yeah.
Jen, are you cold?
Oh my God. Yes.
You're in Atlanta, for crying out loud.
Yes. No, it got down to like 32 here in Woodstock this morning. It was cold. I was scraping this morning.
And we're still on.
All right, you guys. I'm going to bed. Good night.
All right.
All right,
Good night,
good night,
Dina.
Dina. Get
Mary,
better.
hey, I won't see you guys tomorrow.